total, there are now 5,076 people who have recovered from the virus, leaving 1,211 active cases in Alberta. Currently, 70 people are hospitalized with COVID-19, with 11 of those admitted to ICUs. In the last 24 hours, out of 4,072 new test results, there were 62 new cases. An outbreak has now been declared at the Horizon Work Camp operated by Canadian Natural Resources. There have been 5 confirmed cases linked to the camp, and the operator is working closely with Alberta Health Services to limit the spread. We are announcing this outbreak today as it has met the threshold of 5 cases. When there are 1 or 2 cases at a particular work site, that isn't considered to be proof of transmission at that work site, and therefore the public disclosure does wait until 5 cases where it does seem that there has been on-site transmission. And that is the reason we're speaking about this today. Testing is being offered to all employees, including those without symptoms, and I'm confident that the spread can be contained on this site as all measures are being taken to do this. I want to say I absolutely recognize the inconvenience for businesses, and the challenge that we're facing is the need to make decisions with the most up-to-date data, which unfortunately makes it challenging to give a lot of lead time. I want to encourage Calgarians who want to support their local restaurants to consider takeout options. Many restaurants still provide that, and so restaurants that maybe have ordered in extra supplies or extra food to get ready for the potential opening tomorrow, that takeout option maybe can be the way to use up those supplies, and so would encourage Calgarians to consider supporting local businesses in that way. And with respect to, again, other businesses that may have been moving to hire staff, again, I think absolutely acknowledge that that's the inconvenience, but if we had made a decision about relaunch much earlier, we wouldn't have had the benefit of the most up-to-date data. And that's why we, unfortunately, again, for planning purposes, are making the announcement so close to the actual relaunch date. I do want to emphasize again that the delay between stages 1 and 2 is just 10 days, and the phase 1 and 2, and then with the June 1st opening of the other services such as expanded ability for places of worship to have services. And so the hope is that that 10 days will be fast enough to allow Calgarians and those in Brooks to see what's coming next, but at the same time allow us to monitor the data and to make sure that these additional openings don't cause surges in cases that could be problematic. We have been doing jurisdictional scanning to look at the experiences of other countries and other states who have moved into their reopening. And the data that my team provided me showed that in Alabama, they went from having a relatively low daily case count and they opened their retail sector, and within 1 week of opening, they had their highest daily case count that they had had at any point in time, even before they began their relaunch. So I think what I want to emphasize is that we have slowed this by 2 10-day increments with the understanding that Calgarians are going to be able to access all of those things the Premier mentioned, retail outlets, daycares, museums, outdoor recreation. That will all be accessible starting tomorrow, just the same as the rest of the province. But what I'm suggesting is that if Calgarians are interested in having their hair cut, they may want to think about going to their typical barber when that opens in 10 days' time, rather than traveling outside the city for that kind of service. And there's no legal restrictions on that. This is a recommendation. Again, just to emphasize that, as the Premier mentioned, we are recommending that people limit non-essential travel outside of the regions that they live in at this time. So again, recognizing that this is an inconvenience for Calgarians, it is so critical that we take a step where we do have these higher cases. We take a cautious step, monitor that, and make sure that we're not causing harm by opening too quickly.